Good morning, class. Today our videos are going to go over the Chunk Test 9 review, so make sure you either print this out or work them out on notebook paper first. You don't have to attach the assignment. I'm not grading it. This is going to be your study guide for your test, all right? So work all of these problems before you continue to watch any of the videos today, and then after you've worked them out, then watch the videos to see how you did, okay? So until you've worked this out, go ahead and push pause on this video and then push play when you have finished. All right, so number one says, which statement is true about the domain of y equals 3 times 2 to the negative x? Well, we should remember this fact. The domain of all exponentials, because all exponentials, regardless if they look like this, or if they're upside down, or they could even be backwards, where they go down, or they start out up and then go sideways. Any exponential, it does not matter, always continues forever going to the left and forever going to the right, forever to the left, forever to the right. So the domain is always going to be all real numbers. A city manager must predict the population growth of the city between years 2000 and 2050 to make plans for new businesses, expansions, and housing development. To determine the population growth, the manager will use the formula y equals a times b to the x. What do the variables in this formula represent? All right, so we have to remember how to break down the formula. Remember, a is going to be the initial value, so this should be the starting population. Now this b, that should be our growth factor, because we assume that the city is going to be growing in population. Growth factor, or it could be decay factor if there's people leaving the city each year. Their x here is the time. So whatever year, and then the y, that is just the population at that year. So let's go through and let's get an answer that match. A says y is the population of the year, x says the year, b says the population of the year in 2000. Okay, so they started out in 2000, so this should actually be the A. So that does not count. B says population of the city, good. Time in years since the year 2000, okay, good. B is the growth rate, A is the population in the year 2000. Pretty sure this one's it. Let's mark it, let's go through the rest just to double check. Population of the city, time in years since 2050, good. No, since it says since 2050, they're saying we started in 2050, we finished in 2050. And A says the population in the year of 2050, that should be the start population in 2000. So C is wrong. D says population city, good. X 50 years, okay. Population of the year in 2050, no. That is the growth rate. So A and B are switched. So the only answer that works is answer B. Number 3, the number of bacteria in a petri dish increases every hour by 18%. Remember, it gave you the rate as a percent, change it to decimal, 1, 2. There were initially 200 bacteria placed in the dish. Which function can be used to determine the number of bacteria in the petri dish in exactly X hours? So we're using, it's increasing, so this is a growth. So let's use our growth equation. Y equals A times 1 plus R to the X. Now let's plug in what we know. We have initially 200, 1 plus our rate, which is 0.18, to the X. Now, all of these already have it combined, so let's go ahead and combine those. What's 1 plus 1/8? 1.18. And we would get answer C. I'm going to stop the video here. We're going to continue with the rest on the next video.